I'm Philip Zimbardo. I'm co-author of Living and Loving Better with Time Perspective, and I'm here in Warsaw to give you 5 reasons why everyone should read and buy and read this book. And I'm also talking for my co-author, Rosemary Sword. Every day of our lives, we have the opportunity to evolve into ever better versions of ourselves. Is anyone too old or too young to learn about a universal behavior that can be corrected, and in doing so, change your life for the better? A pattern that may have just started or has been practiced unconsciously for decades. What if you discovered that for years you've been facing in the wrong direction? For many of us, we spend our lives looking backwards, revisiting all the negative things that happened to us, regrets, failure, when instead, the secret of success in your life is looking forward to a future filled with hope and unlimited hope. What if the solution is as simple as changing your mindset? Living and Loving Better can help people as young as teenagers struggling with stress and anxiety of growing into young adulthood. It can also help elders with one foot on the threshold of eternity, and everybody in between, youth and elders. How? We show in our book a new way of viewing your past, your present, and your future by letting go of past negatives that have been holding us back, by making and working toward plans for an ever brighter, more positive future, all the while learning how to live in an enjoyable present. So it's the ideal blend of past, present, and future, which we now know from much research and even much therapy we have conducted, that is the ideal combination. Positive past, enlightened future, and enjoyable present. So let me give you 5 reasons why I believe that Living and Loving Better, reading it and practicing our exercise, is helpful for people of all ages. The first is that toxic, meaning destructive relationships, affect everybody. From childhood bully who becomes the bully boss, to the bully's victims who live in chronic fear, and also from the self-absorbed, arrogant narcissist, to those who step on others to get what they want, and from the person or people who decide to shun an individual, to the victim who doesn't understand what they did to warrant such behavior from other people. Living and Loving Better delves into fundamental aspects of these toxic relationships that we all have at some time in our life. And instead, we show you how to shine a bright light on how to get out of them and how to get rid of them as poisonous in your mental health and your psychological health. Second reason we think our book is really special is we spend a lot of time focusing on sexual romantic relationships. They are experienced by the vast majority of us at some point in our lives, young and old, unless we've pledged, of course, a vow of celibacy or if we have a physical disability. In Living and Loving Better, we gain a fuller understanding of healthy versus unhealthy sexual relationships. We learn how our time perspective plays an essential role in one of the most important aspects of our lives. Examples are given in our book, from teenage sex to reminiscence of octogenarians, people who are 80 years old, thinking back when they enjoyed the physical, romantic, emotional relationship with another person. A third reason for reading our book has to do with anyone who is a parent or is planning to be a parent. Parenting can be the greatest joy in life, and simultaneously, it's also the most stressful job you've ever had. I have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, and although I love them, there are many times in life where children create stress for us. We're all affected by parenting, even if we aren't a parent ourselves, because we all have parents and there are parental figures, and we have a family or friends who are parents. And we know that parenting can be a joy, but it can also be a source of stress. In Living and Loving Better, we explore parental anxiety and the modern stresses that guardians experience, including working mothers and fathers, single parents, and those undergoing the empty nest syndrome, meaning your children leave and suddenly not only is the negative stress gone, but the joy of having children around you. How do we survive the wonder years? Hint, it's all about, again, learning a time perspective balance. How are you going to develop this ideal TP, time perspective balance? A fourth part of life, again, is stress. Stress affects us physically, mentally, and emotionally throughout our lives. Whether we're students, whether we're in the workforce, or even when we're retired, there are always new causes of stress, and stress is obviously linked to anxiety. With that stressful anxiety, there are heart and blood pressure problems. In many cases, we become addicted to medicine that reduce the anxiety, but then they become a new problem. And the problem is that these kinds of stress and anxiety freeze us in one place when someone is in dire need of help. We often don't get that help, and we often don't know how to ask for help. And in many, many cases, if you ask for help, you'll get it. But too often we try to say, we can go it alone. We don't need other people, and that's wrong. In our book, we show you why we all need other people. We are social animals, and we help you learn how to ask for help in a respectful way. So in Living and Loving Better, we learn that skewed time perspectives can already add to our stressful life, and how to correct our thinking, and we teach you simple coping skills that can help during any kind of stressful situation that you'll face. And last, but certainly not least, happiness and living a meaningful life are what we are all about, no matter what our age. Living and Loving Better examines how time perspective affects our view of the whole world. It probes into our pursuit of happiness, our search for meaning in life, and also how do we develop the right livelihood. We help you focus on career. It's both stressful career choices, but also making the ideal getting on the ideal career path so that your life is enriched. And now, what's the key to living a happy, meaningful life? It's in a new word, kindness. And compassion. So in our book, what we try to do is tell you how you can live a compassionate life. And curiously, compassion begins with self-compassion. That too often, even people who are caring and kind spend a lot of time, like almost first responders, helping other people. And compassion begins with self-compassion. That is, give yourself a pat on the back. Treat yourself kindly. And then you're better able to reach out to other people and share that compassion. But what I have always said, and I actually had a dialogue with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, is that compassion and empathy are the most important private virtues. But compassion and empathy means you're more likely to want to help other people who are in need, or other people who are in stress, whether it's family or strangers. We want to be the good Samaritan to help people who need our help. But compassion and empathy are mental and emotional states. They don't change anything. So I have developed a program called the Heroic Imagination Project, in which we show that private virtue must be transformed and translated into action, because action is what changes the world. Behavior changes the world. And so we show you how to transform good feelings, good intentions into behavior that makes our world better and makes us live and love better and happier. Thank you for your attention. I hope you'll get our book. I hope you'll read it and share it with other people. Ciao, Phil Zimbardo.